Boogie, drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, let me know what you think. Now, Letitia put out a post, a repost from something that Marceau put out, and it says, "Stop playing with us." And it says, "Top contributor, I hope they realize that while I worked at a movie theater, I also owned a 60-unit apartment complex with Reese, owned a 12-plex apartment with Tisha, owned a 4-plex with Reese, owned between 7 to 10 single-family homes. They insisted that we use their car for about a week because Tisha didn't want to drive my Jeep. We never stayed in anything they owned, and they never said we did. Hashtag let's go, playtime over." And my thing is, Marceau needs to humble himself. Marceau and Letitia needs to humble themselves. I do not believe that these people owned all of this property, but yet he had to work at a movie theater. And I'm not talking about anybody that work at a movie theater. A job is a job. If you're making a living, if you're making an honest living, then you're okay in my book. But for Marceau to try to make it seem like he didn't need anybody at any given time, nobody gave him a hand up, nobody was in his corner, Melody Martell never helped him out. I feel as though that he really needs to gather himself. Him and Letitia, they need to gather themselves. They need to humble themselves and stop playing. And it gets on my nerves because now they don't want to show their reality on the show. They don't want anybody to know the real Scots of what's going on behind. What's the reality of Scots 1.0, 2.0 as well, but for this instance, Scott 1.0 don't want anything except for perfection. They living in a bubble, and now it's like they're trying to bring down other people, and they have a disregard for what people did for them. But why? It's okay. A lot of people get a hand up. But if you stay true to who you are and you can humble yourself and say, yes, I need help. Marceau talking about people need to be able to talk about their failures. Well, he needs to be able to be open up and honest about that he had to get some help into business. He didn't know everything about the business. And he's talking about the Melody can't talk about her failures. Well, you want Melody to talk about something, but you can't even talk about somebody helping you. Whether it was making a phone call for you, whether it was loaning you a car for a week. And my thing is, if you're a millionaire, if you owned all of these properties, then why you didn't have the money to make sure Tisha had her own car? Or if her car was down or for some reason y'all was a car down, you have 3 kids, why didn't you just go out and rent her a car for that week? Why should you had needed Melody or Martell's car in the first place? Because they probably only insisted because they probably didn't think that you didn't have the funds to go and get a rental. Y'all do have 3 kids that needed to get around and go to school. And, she got to get to the grocery store, things like that. So for a mom to be without her car when she's used to having it, that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. So when you make it seem like it's nothing, that it was just for a week, A lot can happen in a week. And like I said, if you, Marcel, Tisha, if they owned all of these properties, then why did they need to come to Melody for the property preservation, to for Melody to teach them? Why did Miss Van have to move to Huntsville and start working at Scopes for property preservation? Why didn't you take the experience of running these complexes and put them to good use and do your property preservation without Melody's help? Why did you need her? I mean, you trying to trying to make it seem like nobody helped you and you didn't need anybody, and you made yourself. I mean, what the mess that you got yourself into, maybe you should have listened. But this is why y'all are continuing to be humble, or being exposed. I can't even say humble because they haven't begun to be humbled yet. But this is the reason that they are continuing to be exposed this season for everything that they have done, everything that they have going on is coming to the forefront because of times like this. Martell, he didn't, only thing he said was that that him and Melody helped y'all out. He didn't say anything about the home and stuff like that. That was us, the viewers or whatever. We picked that up. But whatever it was, if y'all did, it's okay to say that. It's okay. People go and get help all the time when they need help. And sometimes just because you didn't ask for help and people volunteer the help does not discount the help that you received. It still was help. Whether it was for a day, for an hour, for a week, a year, however long it was. You didn't go to Wanda and get her truck or her car for Tisha to drive. You didn't go to Maurice or Kimmy and get a car for Tisha to drive for that week or however long. Just because somebody insists, you can always decline and say, no, I got it handled. But you happily took their keys and drove their car. They could have left their car parked. If they had a car to loan you guys, that means that their car could have been parked for that week, which means that they didn't have to get it back and have to get an oil change. See, people think that when people have cars that it's just all about the gas. No, they probably were making monthly payments on that car. They probably had to do some maintenance because it probably was sitting for a minute. Anything. But see, because people are so selfish and can't admit and want to discount other people's help, and can't take things at face value and say, okay, yes, they were good to me. They helped me out in a time of need for me and my family. So, because you can't even admit it, that's why you continue to be exposed. In this 60-unit complex, if y'all owned all of this stuff, 60-unit complex, 12-unit complex, then why did y'all should have been built y'all dream home and had better status, better outcome. Y'all should have been doing the doggone thing. Why haven't none of this been played out on the show when y'all were have all of these businesses and all of this real estate going on? Because Marcel, you only went to court for one house, and if you had 7 to 10 properties, then why are you trying to fight this man in court allegedly for one property? Then where are your other 7 to 9 properties that you say you own? What happened to them? Because if you sold them all, then you should have some type of funding. So where's the funding from the all of the real estate dealings that you were doing? Seems to me like this is just, I mean, was this just a gimmick, or one of you and Reese and Tisha's multiple gimmicks to get PPP loans, and I'm going to say allegedly, or y'all gimmicks to, on paper that y'all were using to get funding for, to fit y'all, to suit y'all lifestyle, so it made sense on paper? Because I just can't see somebody that owned all of this real estate, but they reduced themselves to being a movie manager, a movie theater manager, not a movie manager, but a movie theater manager. It just makes no sense. But like I said, when people can't humble themselves, life have a way of humbling them anyway. So I don't understand what's the big deal, what they're hiding from, because the more they try to hide, the more the Scotts are going to be exposed. And I'm here for it. I don't feel sorry for them. So they can put out all the posts they want to, whatever. Like you say, it's playtime over. Let's go. So if y'all here for it, I'm here for it. That's just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think.